Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Full Force. We're going to be going over the blue-red artifacts deck. So if you haven't seen Full Force before, what we do is we open up packs, start a draft, and we force a specific archetype just to kind of see how deep you can go on it and kind of what shakes loose when you can try out some cards that you normally wouldn't try out, and when you just jam that one specific archetype, just what happens, and just kind of look at the format. Try and learn some things. So right now we're doing blue-red artifacts and energy. So we're looking at Malphus Doorbuster here, I think. Some of the cards that we obviously want like a Whirler Virtuoso. We're trying to get like anything that kind of makes energy and a lot of the stuff that operates with artifacts. So we're going to get like lots of Thopters online and stuff like that. But Malphus is nice. I don't think there's anything too much better than that. Even for other colors. Unlicensed Disintegration's probably the pick here, or Revoke Privileges, but Malphus is fine. I mean, the card's good. So I'm pretty happy to pick that up here as a start. Now we have a Shrewd Negotiation, which I do actually like. I think this card's pretty decent. Stealing away opponents' creatures when you have your Prophetic Prism is pretty good. There's also a Spontaneous Artist and a Weldfast Monitor. I've really enjoyed Shrewd Negotiation. I've seen the card go pretty late, so I'm wondering if people are just underrating it or if I'm overrating it. But since this is Full Force, I might as well test it, right? That is the point of this whole exercise, is to try out cards that I might not normally try out and see what happens. So let's grab the Shrewd. Now there's Whirler Maker, which I think is just too slow, is the problem. There's also Brazen Scourge, and like Puzzle Knot, Pillar Bug. I mean, these are both black cards, essentially. There's the Accomplished Automaton, but that card is really expensive. I don't think we want that. Weldfast Wingsmith doesn't seem bad, but also not great. So we'll just take Brazen Scourge. This card is good. I mean, 3/3 for 3 with haste is a lot of upside. We have a Reckless Fireweaver if we want to try and see how many artifacts we can get. Honestly, I don't think this card's that great. Malfunction does seem okay. We don't have any removal yet. Red has some decent removal spells, but we might not get them, so I don't mind just taking a Malfunction. Grab our Sleep Paralysis. Next pick would probably be the Reckless Fireweaver. I apologize if I'm a little bit rough on the mic here, because I'm fighting a bit of sickness, so... Wow. Lathnu Hellion is so good. I'm amazed that it's still here. This card's nasty. You never know when to block it is the problem. I've played against it and with it quite a few times, and the most awkward thing in the world as an opponent is to have somebody attack you with their Lathnu Hellion with no energy. Because what do? Do you block it and kill it? No, do you take the damage? If you take the damage, are they going to sacrifice it? Or are they just going to play something else that makes energy and then you're just going to feel like an idiot? Like, how long can you do that game? And this thing comes down so early and is so big that it's hard to block. I've definitely gone very deep on that. Wow, now we look like we're in the right colors. Look at all these blue-red cards, and a lot of them are good. Thriving Grubs is nice. Windrake is really good, and Quicksmith Genius is great. We don't have a lot of artifacts yet, so Quicksmith Genius doesn't look as good, but I really want to pick things up. Like, I want to get Fabricators, I want to get things like the Whirler Virtuoso. That being said, Thriving Grubs also works for our energy strategy. This is a common, though, and this is an uncommon, so I think we should just take the Quicksmith Genius. Thriving Grubs is nice with Hellion and stuff, too, though. It's a tough choice. I'll take the uncommon over the common, though. It's a close pick, and I think that I want the card that I'm less likely to see more of later. And Gearseeker Serpent. This card's a beating. It's just huge. We don't have any artifacts really yet. So, I mean, I could just take Fireforger's Puzzle Knot instead. It is a red artifact. Nimble Innovator is okay. But Gearseeker has a huge upside. We're going to take this, and I'm going to try and pick up more artifacts. Like here, we could take Curio Vendor, but I think that we want the Fireforger's Puzzle Knot. It's not a great artifact, but it is something that we can use to up our artifact count, and that's probably not the worst. Take our Revolutionary Rebuff. Bad Mana Leak is sometimes pretty good. I don't really think I need a built to smash, and I can probably find one later. Weld Fast Monitor or Spontaneous Artist? Spontaneous Artist is decent, and it does give us energy. That being said, Weld Fast Monitor is an artifact, so I think I need that, because I do actually have a couple things that will want artifacts at this point. And we already have a bit of energy. I'm hoping I can pick up some more and better energy cards later, because that's not the greatest generator of energy. I mean, it's just one. I'll take Weld Fast Wingsmith here. I'll put it in the sideboard for now. We need a lot of artifacts, I think, to make this work. And I look like I'm going to have a few. Like, I'm going to try and get some. I have Quicksmith Genius. I want to play artifacts. But Weldsmith is not the, huge payoff for it. And you need a lot of artifacts to really make it work. Shrewd Negotiation is going to ask us for a lot more artifacts, too. So, reason to pick up the Puzzle Knot. Well, I doubt I'm playing the Giant Choo-Choo Train. But, sure, I'll take it. Renegade Freighter, that's a card that I'd play immediately. Renegade Freighter is insane. The Express, not so much. It's a fine card, I suppose. High Tide Hermit. Generates a lot of energy, at least. I'm not sure if I'd actually want to play it or not, but it's possible. It generates a ton of energy. It's really awkward without energy itself, though, because then not attacking with it's not where you want to be. Feel like these 2-1s are pretty bad in this format with how many servos go around. Ugh. Ovaya Pashiri is kind of insane. There's a lot of good cards here, though, because Longfin Skywhale is huge, and Furious Reprisal is very good. Even Thriving Grubs and, like, Aether Trade Winds, Cathartic Reunion, these are all nice cards. A lot of very good cards here. Self-Assembler is not bad, either. Oh my god. I don't know what to take here. I think I take the Longfinned or the Furious Reprisal. I don't have any real removal yet, just the Malfunction. So maybe it's the Reprisal? Ugh, it feels so bad to pass this thing. It's just massive. It kills somebody in the air really fast. This is one of those very interesting times where at the beginning of a format, it's hard to know, like, do you need the removal a lot more than you need, like, a really nasty creature that just ends the game? I'm not sure. I think I'm going to go with the creature that ends the game. But, man, that is a tough one. I would certainly not criticize anybody for taking the Reprisal. Or honestly, even a couple of the other cards that were there. There's some good ones. Self-Assembler didn't look that terrible either. And we do need artifacts. Salivating Gremlins is another thing that needs artifacts, so I don't know how much I want that. Could grab Aether Hub, because it makes energy. And it's just a freebie. There's also Glassblower's Puzzle Knot, which covers both artifacts and energy. That could be okay. I don't really like Thriving Turtle. It's fine sometimes, but I should be able to pick one up at some point. So we've got, like, Salivating Spiricide or, like, Glassblower's Aether Hub. It just depends whether I want more creatures or whether I want to have more energy and kind of artifact enabling type stuff. I feel like Glassblowers should wheel, so I don't need that. I might just take the Salivating Gremlins. I'm going to do that. It's got a high upside. I kind of like the Gremlins. I've had it be very good a couple times. Now there's Blade Master and Iron League Steed. I actually don't mind the Iron League Steed. It's not a great card, but it is an artifact, and it makes 2 artifacts, which is sometimes pretty awesome. Things with Salivating Gremlins really like that. So that might be okay. Revoke Privileges is going around still. Foundry Screecher. There's a lot of cards that are good, but not in our colors. Thriving Rats is nice. We'll just take the Iron League, though. I need some 2-drops, like Aether Theorist, which is perfect. Energy, and it lets us go later in the game. Pima Outrider is really strong, and Gear Per Guide I've had a lot of success with. I've been more impressed with this card than I thought I would. There's a lot of cards in this format that have, like, 2 power. There's so many servos. ends up being a lot better than you think. Makes for some very awkward blocks for your opponent too. Like, a lot of times it doesn't necessarily make something unblockable, but it means they can't like double or triple block your big creature, and you just can get them. But Aether Theorist is definitely what we need. Select for Inspection hopefully wheels. Probably doesn't, but I'd like it. Oof. Bunch of decent black cards. I guess I just take Built to Smash. Built to Smash is not a bad card, but I just don't need a ton of them, so I'll take up my 1 copy here. I might play 2 copies. It's possible. Territorial Gorger does not seem good. Cathartic Reunion. There's the Self-Assembler. If we can wheel that other one, it might be good. I'll take the Self-Assembler. I really don't think that I like Territorial Gorger. Even with a ton of energy, it doesn't make any sense. And we don't have enough. I would like to try it out, just on a whim if we had enough ways to make energy, but right now we have like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, it's just not nearly enough. If I actually had like 6 ways to do it, I might try and go deep and build around it, but it's a little too late on that this time. Dukara Peafowl. Ooh, I like that. Artifact, and it flies. Nothing wrong with the Peafowl. There's a Torch Gauntlet. It's not great. Veteran Motorist is pretty gross. So obviously nobody's in white-red. I think that you'd just slam that card if you're in aggro. Torch Gauntlet is great, though. Sorry, Torch Gauntlet isn't great, though, but it's fine for us. Another artifact. Pump up some of our creatures, it's fine. Aether Trade Winds. At least we wield that. Don't think I care about the Cathartic Reunion. Another Built to Smash. Got Spireside and Glassblowers back. I don't have great payoffs for the energy yet. Last New Hellion is the closest thing. It's pretty strong. I might want the Spireside over it. Let's take the Glassblowers and see what happens. I've got enough creatures. There's no problem that way. I have a lot of creatures. Ruinous Gremlin might be what I need. Blade Master doesn't seem terrible, but Ruinous Gremlin actually killing off artifacts, we don't have anything else that does that yet. I can certainly see play in that. Woo woo. Get that train going. And what am I hoping for in the last pack? Chandra, obviously. Some self-assemblers would be kind of cool. I'd love like a fabrication module and decoction module. That's the kind of thing that I wanted to try and do. If I could have enough energy, that's the payoff, is like a fabrication module. So we can get +1/+1 counters on all of our creatures when we're doing it. That's what I would like. I managed to assemble fabrication module and a decoction module in a draft at the GP. Whew, it is good. It's fun when you get it online. I'm not sure that it's amazing or anything, but man, when it actually comes online, it's a good combo. You do have to play 2 cards that are sometimes a little weaker without it, but I don't know. It seems like it's a real thing, so I'd love to play it again. Definitely want to assign those together. Confiscation Coup. Well, well, well. That looks nice. There's also a Peafowl, a Bomat Bazaar Barge, which I think would be my other pick. Thriving Grubs or Chandra's Pyrohelix are both very, very good as well. Any case, I mean, it's Confiscation Coup. There's not much else that I can say about it. The card's great. Just steal anything that you want. Especially if you have other things that make energy for you. Janjit Sentry, Chief of the Foundry. Wish I had way more artifacts right now. Right now I only have 4 other artifacts. I might just need the Janjit Sentry. Something that makes more makes more energy and has a decent way to use it. It's probably just better than Chief, even though Chief is like 90% of the time I'd say Chief is just better than Janjit, but in this particular case I think I want the Sentry. There's the Decoction module, so that'll give me a lot more energy and I can keep bouncing things. What do I have that actually gives me good come into play abilities though? Last New Hellion plus Decoction is kind of cool, because you'll just never have it die. What else is there? You can Fabricate with Iron League Steeg, but that's not great. I mean, 8 mana to make a 1/1. You can kind of protect your own things, so that's alright. I actually had, the other night, Decoction module that I stole from my opponent and a Gaunty. Now that's what I like to do. That's value. There's this Self-Assembler. But I'm going to try the Decoction module. I want to see how deep we can go. It's something that we can actually give to our opponent as well with a Shrewd Negotiation, possibly. Now we have Peafowl, Eager Construct, Ballista Charger. I think I want the Ballista Charger. I'm going to take out this High Tide Hermit. I know that I want energy, but it's not a great way to get it. What else am I cutting? Probably this Curio Vendor. I don't like that card. Or Built to Smash. We're not super aggressive. I need stuff to crew this, though, so the Curio Vendor might come back in. I need 2 drops. I wish that I'd grabbed a Thriving Grubs. I'd like to get one now. Unfortunately, there's none here. I could just take the Doorbuster again. Snap that off. Aether Meltdown. Gives us more energy. And it's a 2-drop, which I kind of need. Not that I'm necessarily playing it on turn 2, which is, yeah, a little bit awkward. But, I mean, it does have energy. Gear Seeker Serpent I already have. I'll take the Meltdown. Get out the Curio Vendor. Blade Master could be okay. Madcap Experiment is not something I'm doing. There's going deep, and then there's just being silly, and that's just being silly. There's no way that that card's good. Aether Flux Reservoir. Well, well, well. How insane do we want to go? A lot of the time this is to try and learn things about the format, about the specific archetype, but it could be to learn something about the specific card. I don't have a ton of cheap things, but I could switch it. Let's take it and see what we can do. I'm interested enough to maybe even try that. It seems like it'd be fun, so let's take the Dukara here. I don't think I want another Revolutionary rebuff. Or a Torch Gauntlet. I already have one. Yeah, this seems fine. Another Curio Vendor. Guess I'll take a Vendor at this point. I might actually try and go stupid deep on this Aetherflux Reservoir and see if we can't do something with it. We need cheap cards to do it, though. We need a lot of things that are cheaper. I really don't know where this deck went. This deck is a little off the rails. There's a bunch of different things that it's trying to do, and it doesn't do any one of them specifically or particularly well. It's got a bit of energy, it's got a bit of artifacts, and it might have an Aetherflux Reservoir. Depending on just how randy I'm feeling. If I'm feeling a little feisty, we might get a Reservoir in there. Alright. Pick up the last few cards in this pack. I think that I really want to test this out. It just seems like so much fun. So we'll go more onto the artifact plan. Blue-red kind of has those two things going for it, either energy or artifacts. You can kind of take your pick. Take out the Iron League Steeg, because I think the Dukara Peafowls are just better. I need to cut a lot of cards. That's 28, so I'd need to cut 5 cards from this. Don't want 2 Fireforgers Puzzle Knots. Take out the Curio Vendor, maybe. I need to take out a 4-drop. They're all pretty good. I guess I could take a Doorbuster, maybe. 2 more cards. Aether Tradewinds is not amazing. Can be a nice little response to a removal spell, but we don't know that our opponents have... Like, I'll do that when my opponents have a ton of removal spells. I'll side it in. Shrewd Negotiation is a little awkward here. 1, 2, 3. Like, there's 3 things that I want to give away. 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know that I want Shrewd. I like the card, but I don't think that I have enough ways to enable it. It's too bad. I really was hoping that I could pick up, like, some of the prophetic prisms and things and be able to use Shrewd Negotiation, but it's a little bit awkward here. So let's do this. I'm gonna try the Aether Flux. I'm not saying that you should do this. This is probably a terrible idea, but yeah, I want to see if I can get to 50 life. What happens if we do? It'd be pretty hard. How many spells do I... Let me just think about this. How many spells do I actually need to play to get to 50 life? Because if I go 1, 2... If I'm playing 2 a turn, that's even just 3 life. So if we play 2 a turn on all of our 22 cards, then that's 40... so it's 3 life, so that would be 66 life total that we would gain. And that's if we're playing 2 cards a turn. I do have decoction modules, so I can get a few extra spells. But that's not exactly easy. Costs a lot of mana. Okay, yeah, maybe I should just take it out. I know that there's going to be people that are going to be mad at me for doing that. Taking out the Aether Flux. But I want to build around this card when I get it first pick. That's what I want to do. I want to build around this card when I get it first pick. And see what we can do with it. But that means that I need to get like a million 2-drops and stuff. I need to kind of have a way to play a bunch of spells every single turn. I need draw cards. I need like the glimmer of genius and things like that. So that I can draw cards and just chain it together with Aether Flux Reservoir. Right now I don't particularly have a way to do that. I guess Aether Trade Winds would work with it, but that's 1 card out of our deck. It just doesn't seem good enough. Do I want this Revolutionary Rebuff, or do I want a 2-drop Curio Vendor or something? Curio Vendor does help crew Ballista Charger. I think we're okay without it. I'm just going to try this. We've got a pretty decent amount of energy between the Doorbusters, the Theorists, the Sentry, the Glass Blowers. So we should be able to get a lot of stuff with Confiscation Coup, and that card's just great. This deck seems pretty average, honestly. Alright, so we'll go 10-7. I think that's even correct. Couple double blues. Red is... I'm gonna go 9-8, actually. We've got a lot of red on 3 that I don't want to miss. And there's Brazen Scourge, plus the Weldfast Monitor. I do need it later for the P-Fowls. I do need blue, but it is later in the game that I'll be actually activating those. I think we want red early, because I want to get Lathnu Hellion on curve. That card's so much better on 3. Alright, well, this is the deck. I will see everyone for round 1. Aether Meltdown is going to be a decent trick here. Because we get to smash in. If our opponent tries to double block things, then we can just melt down. And again, if our opponent goes to 2, Fireforger's Puzzle Knot will finish them off.